Well, welcome to another episode of National Divorce Talk Raw. We're going to do a quick segment where we just want to show you how other people are talking about Calexit and Texit, and that secession could actually be possible. Recently, we showed you a clip from the show Redacted Tonight. We'll be showing you a clip from Hill TV, where they all seem to be saying the same thing that we are. That's coming right up. The Texas secession bill. Recently, it came out in the news that the Texas GOP has changed their platform, meaning the ideas that party wants to push for, to include official secession for Texas from the United States. Now, this has been widely panned and criticized by many people, not secession advocates, and certainly not us over here at Calexit. But in the middle of all this criticism, there are occasional voices from the media coming out saying, not a bad idea, and they could actually pull it off. We wanted to make sure to cut those clips out so that you could see other people, not us, that we have no contact with, saying the exact same thing we are. Let me show you right now, and you can interpret for yourself. So last week or earlier this week, we did a show on Redacted Tonight, seems to back Calexit and Texit. There's the show. You can go check that out if you want.
Texas, we have the Republican Party, has an official news platform that calls for the state to secede from the United States. So this is the big one. We're going to go over it because I noticed online there's a lot of rhetoric about this document, and it does seem that it's a compendium of all the things that the Republican Party says on Fox News, right? That liberals just kind of lose their mind over and make fun of and don't otherwise consider. But I think that a document like this is important to discuss because it proves a couple of things about.
So that's Redacted Tonight, and they go on and they seem to say that basically Calexit and Texit could happen. That's going to be different than what you're going to hear in the mainstream media on the Texas secession concept that's being pushed by the GOP there. But here's a group. They're not mainstream media. They do a pretty good job. I don't believe everything they say, but they were talking about the Texas secession thing. And when they were going over it, they're saying, hey, we don't hope this happens. But they're also saying, not a bad idea. And, Texas and California could survive on their own. That's what they were saying.
Yes. Also, one is that there is this division of.
They're also talking about massive division in America, and it doesn't seem like people can live together. So that's Redacted Tonight. That came out a few days ago. Now, let me show you this. This is from Rising TV or the Hill TV. That's Brianna Joy Gray, former consultant for Bernie Sanders. And she is talking about the Texas secession action also. She's talking about the same thing as Redacted Tonight, and let's take a look at what the Hill TV has to say.
Yeah, there is an increasingly, maybe not increasingly popular among popular among conservative weirdos I see on Twitter, the national divorce. Do you hear about this?
No,
idea? You've never heard this terminology? Wow. Okay.
So do you see what happened there? Robbie, the guy on the right, is a conservative, and he's talking about he has seen the concept of national divorce being talked about on the right a lot. Now, he kind of disparages the people on the right. He does not bring up that we on the left here at Calexit have also been talking about about national divorce. And what I find interesting is that the liberal, Brianna Joy Gray, is like, no, I haven't heard anything about that. Well, now she did. And this is something I've been telling secession advocates. The more you do, the more conversation gets out there. The more conversation gets out, the more normalized it gets. The more people are talking about it, the more normalized it gets, and the more, hey, this is something we routinely talk about, and it's just a normal force of conversation. It's more likely for that event to happen. This is basic human psychology, basic human sociology. So the conservative person on a mainstream TV show, The Rising, is now admitting this topic of national divorce is out there. And he just informed a liberal, and now she's informed. And why are they having this conversation? Because Texas pushed secession, and therefore it made more people in the media cover the topic seriously.
Hey, you have not, this has not penetrated your awareness. Yes,
No.
the national divorce is something some people on the right, conservative, far right talking people on social media are all about a national divorce, which is the idea that it should be peaceful. It should be look, we're two different countries. We're a country of.
They also both forgot that Sarah Silverman and Ron Perlman. Sarah Silverman and Ron Perlman are not conservatives and are famous, and both came out endorsing the conversation for national divorce, in addition to us here at Calexit.
Of people who like guns and low taxes and don't want COVID mandates, and a country of people who want drag queens reading to children or something. Again, this is the conservative framing of it, not mine. And we should just be two different countries, and then that will be fine. Now, practically, it's impossible for many reasons, because you have a lot of very deep blue enclaves within redder surround.
Yeah, we already showed that does not apply to California. The red sections are in the far north or the mountains. They are not in the urban area. The conservatives that are in the urban area aren't going to do anything, because if they were, they would have left already. And they're there because of business connections and family connections. So this whole point of you can't separate because everything's mixed in together does not apply to California at all. And he's spreading misinformation at this moment.
And vice versa. So there would be no.
Okay, so let's now go to the next segment, 517.
Hold, I want to, maybe Texas and California can do well on their own, but leaving states like West Virginia in the lurch.
Maybe Texas and California could do well on their own. Basically the same thing that Redacted Tonight said. And this is what this liberal said upon first hearing the concept of national divorce. She's all, well, maybe Texas and California. So they admit that Texas and California could survive as nations.
And given that so many of the poor states in the Union, Mississippi, the whole Southeast, are conservative states, it does seem to be a really anti-solidarity.
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Huh. Okay, wow. The computer is completely frozen. I don't know, that is not good. Not sure what to do now. It doesn't normally happen. Yeah, that is completely frozen. Well, that's not good and embarrassing. I was literally going to do one more quote, but I guess I can't because I don't have reliable computing equipment. Okay, nothing's responded. I'm completely locked out. No buttons are responding. I'm going to have to shut off the show manually with a hard reboot, and then just show you the next segment later on. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know why they're happening. Wow, it is completely frozen all of a sudden. Okay. So Okay, still live. Let's see if we can show that last bit of segment again. Not sure why that happened. Sorry about that. I do want to show you the last section, though, if it will let me.
Hello, my name is Kathleen Petticourt.
Texas Republicans
Okay.
are pushing for a referendum.
Sorry, let me find that section. It erased all my work. Boy, that is really convenient. I think it was around here.
In the lurch. And given that so many of the poor states in the Union, Mississippi, the whole Southeast, are conservative states, it does seem to be a really anti-solidaristic, kind of a middle finger to parts of the conservative coalition. I don't think America should be like so many of these Balkan states, like what's going on in Ukraine, where there's this idea that, well, we speak a different language, we have different culture values, so we should split the country in two. I mean, that's fine, self-determination, people can do what they want to do, but part of what I've always valued about being
That was the last segment I wanted you to see, that although Brianna Joy Gray, who's familiar with government, said, I don't like the idea of splitting up, she did say that self-determination is the law and people have the right to do what they want to do. So she said, I don't like it, but under international law, the UN Article Treaty, nations have the right of self-determination. People have the right of self-determination. So they can pursue their own nation. So we saw Brianna say, I don't really like this idea of splitting up, but Texas and California could actually secede and survive. And there is actually a law for self-determination. So wanted you to see that. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we wanted you to see that there are multiple people who you're not going to see in the mainstream who are talking about the Texas secession bill and saying, well, actually, Texas and California could secede and make it on their own. And that was the whole point of this show. Wanted to make sure you saw that. Thanks, James. I appreciate you for pointing out we're still live. I appreciate it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. That was that show. We'll be back in a few minutes with another show. It's a big, big, big news day, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. But first, let's try to end it professionally.